Hey, I want to go a little up north to the Queen City in Cincinnati. We talked about this a little bit earlier. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Castellini and the boys over there are going to be buyers or sellers during the trade deadline coming up? Since what they got going on here, it's pretty special what they got going on. I know people up there are buzzing, and I'm getting kind of excited about it too.
Todd, I totally agree. I watched that game last night and I was thinking this is the most excited I've heard Great American Ballpark since Frazier won the home run derby.
Let's
And I might not be
go.
off on that. I might not be far off on that, if at all. So it is really exciting. And it's not just Dela Cruz, though, of course, his debut was absolutely electric. The kid who got the game winning hit, McLean, the kid who debuted on the mound, the lefty 2 nights ago, Andrew Abbott. And there are others coming behind them. So it's been really impressive. Other players, too, Spencer Steer and Friedel, who's now hurt. They've just got a nice thing going there. And yes, that's a fair question. What do they do at the deadline if they're in it? What they should do is add, of course. And they need a starting pitcher to go with the three younger guys that they have. Of course, Lodolo's hurt right now. I don't know that they will do that. They have been going backwards with payroll the last couple of years, but the big thing is, and this is me as a writer knowing this, but you guys can speak to it even better. When you've got a competitive team at the deadline and the front office does not act to support that team, the players see that almost as a betrayal. The fact that the front office isn't in as deep, isn't trying as hard as they are. And that can kind of wreck a team. Did it to the Brewers last year when they traded Josh Hader. And when you do nothing in a situation where you have a chance to win, that could also not sit well in a clubhouse, and it can be a really problematic thing.
We'll see what they do. I mean, I really hope they do some buying because this NL Central, it could be up for grabs. I mean, no one's running away with it right now. So we're giving the Reds as much coverage as anyone, especially the last few weeks. Ken, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you later in the week.
Thanks, guys.
All right. How about that statement, Todd Father? More excitement in Cincinnati since home run derby?
It makes me excited. I know that.
That was ruckus.
Hey, it was raucous, man. But I hate to bring it up. They're a good team right now. They're good right now. But I remember you, Scotty. I always go back to what you said. You know, ease the brakes, pump the brakes a little bit. I don't know. I don't know where I'm at with it right now. But I'm really excited for the boys there, for Dave Bell for putting in the work. And he told us, the other day, he says we're going to have a team that's going to play with their hearts and go out there and be the best that they can be. And that's all he wants, and that's all they've been doing.
No, my thing, Top Father, is pump the brakes if usually they're not as good as you think they are and they're not as bad as you think they are. For Cincinnati, I think they're rated right now. I think they're not overrated. They're not underrated. This is a team that could mess around in the 500 range, and that might be all it takes to compete in the National League Central. Yeah. Just saying, keep an eye out on it. So,
sorry, just back to Ellie De La Cruz. The quote that David Bell had, he was talking about, he said, he knew he was a big focus today, but you would never know it being around him. He went out and played relaxed. He played with passion and intensity. He was himself. And knowing David Bell, that dude's passionate and intense. He's
without a doubt.
That's like minimizing what he is. And so a young guy coming in and having that's what your manager says. The manager isn't just like, he's not just, while they might give like cookie cutter answers, it shows that's the focus. And it shows that it's a team that is believing in that mantra, the focus, passion, and intensity. And I think C. Trent said it earlier when he was on, just talking about how, that's the team's MO, and it's from their manager, David Bell.
I like it. And he's been through some crap too. I mean, I was with him soon after that 3-22 slump last year, and the attitude still for him was great. And I will say, sometimes you're sitting with a manager and he looks like he aged 10 years. He looked okay. He's like, we'll be fine. This is not a team that looks like this. We're not as bad as this. He basically said before it was a thing, we are not the Oakland A's. Okay, Scott? I was like, gotcha.